for years. Mr. O'Malley, you're also a Catholic, are you not? You're also a Catholic, are you not?
I am.
Do you serve God or do you serve the Democrat Party?
I serve God. And
okay, then Mr. O'Malley.
Mr. Chairman, as a Roman Catholic, I take offense at the suggestion that somebody has to choose between God and their service to country as a Catholic.
Mr. O'Malley, will you be supporting the murder of the unborn up until the day of birth like your party does? As DNC chair, will you be supporting the murder of innocent unborn people? Is that in line with your faith in God and the Catholic Church?
I trust the judgment of women and doctors over the judgment of government.
No, do you trust God's judgment? Do you trust God that he loves and has created every single human being? Do you support the murder of unborn children? And are you going to uphold that evil practice that the Democrat Party wants to continue?
What's going on, fellow patriots? Welcome back to the channel where we speak truth, defend our Constitution, and hold these bureaucrats accountable, no matter how uncomfortable it gets. If you're new here, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell so you don't miss a single moment of truth-telling in a sea of media lies. So, I just finished watching this jaw-dropping clip from Forbes Breaking News, where Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene absolutely lays into former Biden-appointed Social Security Commissioner Kilolo Kijakazi. Yeah, the one who resigned recently. And let me tell you something, folks. This is what accountability looks like. This is what leadership should look like. We're talking about a man who was in charge of a system, our system, one that millions of hardworking Americans depend on, and under his leadership, it failed. People couldn't even schedule appointments. Veterans, the elderly, people with disabilities, left waiting for hours, left on hold, left in the dark. And all while this guy was more focused on appeasing unions and working from home than actually serving the American people.
Chair recognizes Ms. Greene from Georgia.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. O'Malley, under your tenure, the Social Security Administration failed to deliver for the American people. On November 8th of last year, your agency announced the Appointment Focused Service, AFS, which directs field offices nationwide to require nearly all services be scheduled by appointment at local offices. While the intent was to reduce in-person wait times, my constituents cannot get through the phone lines to even schedule an in-person appointment. In just the last week, nearly a dozen constituents have contacted my office complaining that when they called to schedule an appointment, they were placed on hold for hours. Then ultimately routed to the voicemail where no one answered and no one called them back, and this has been going on and on and on. This is absolutely unacceptable, and the American people deserve to know the root cause of why this policy was implemented to begin with. The short answer is your telework policies. The AFS was put in place to reduce wait times, yet the only reason the wait times were so outrageous to begin with was because there weren't enough staff in the office to reduce the in-person wait times because your staff is at home, not working for the American people. It is reported that your local offices are only staffed at 20 to 30% on any given day. It's kind of hard to have in-person appointments when people are not at the office. No wonder wait times were so long. And you, Commissioner O'Malley, just signed an agreement to make that permanent for the next 4 years of President Trump's administration, which is more failure, but that's your fault. And by the way, Commissioner, I reached out to you last August. This is the letter that I sent to you, dated August 1st, 2024, requesting an in-person meeting with you to discuss some of the serious issues that my constituents in Northwest Georgia are constantly having. But you never responded to me, Mr. O'Malley. I never got a phone call. I never got a letter back. And that's clearly, maybe you were enjoying the telework policies yourself instead of doing the actual job. Or possibly it's because you were too busy drinking with the union members that you were negotiating with instead of negotiating against on behalf of the American people. Now, Mr. O'Malley, right before you resigned as Social Security Administrator, you signed an agreement with the American Federation of Government Employees on November 27th 2024. Now, remember, 2 weeks before that, as I mentioned, you were partying with AFGE members in Florida, but you weren't interested in calling me back or were even bothering to return a letter when I wanted to talk to you about very serious issues that my constituents were having. You see, as Republicans, we fully support making sure that every single American receives their benefits from Social Security. You Democrats like to lie about us. We are going to make sure that every single person that paid in gets every single penny that they deserve, that they paid in, it will come out and back to them. That's what's important to us, actually working for the American people. Now, Mr. O'Malley, I'd like to ask you another question. Since you're very interested in being DNC chair, you are, after all, a lifelong Democrat politician. I don't even know if you had a job in the real world, but you have been an elected politician for years. Mr. O'Malley, you're also a Catholic, are you not? You're also a Catholic, are you not?
I am.
Do you serve God or do you serve the Democrat Party?
I serve God.
Okay, then Mr. O'Malley.
Mr. Chairman, as a Roman Catholic, I take offense at the suggestion that somebody has to choose between God and their service to country as a Catholic.
Mr. O'Malley, will you be supporting the murder of the unborn up until the day of birth like your party does? As DNC chair, will you be supporting the murder of innocent unborn people? Is that in line with your faith in God and the Catholic Church?
I trust the judgment of women and doctors over the judgment of government.
No, do you trust God's judgment? Do you trust God that he loves and has created every single human being? Do you support the murder of unborn children? And are you going to uphold that evil practice that the Democrat Party wants to continue? You see, abortions, over 95% of them are unintended pregnancies. They use abortions as birth control. So are you going to continue the birth control practice of murdering the unborn children as chair of the DNC? Will that be a policy you'll be supporting?
I am pro-choice, and I trust the judgment of women and their doctors over the judgments of government.
Well, thank you for letting God know where you stand with the murder of
I talk to God every day.
Yeah, well, you might want to talk to him a little bit more, Mr. O'Malley, because you're definitely in the wrong. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
Gentlelady yields back.
Now listen to this. Under his tenure, the SSA implemented a policy called Appointment-Focused Service, which sounds great on paper, right? Less crowding, more structure. But here's the catch. The phone lines don't work. You can't even get a human being on the other end. People are placed on hold for hours and then dumped into a voicemail abyss, never to be heard from again. Let me ask you this. How are we supposed to serve the public if our government offices are ghost towns? Marjorie Taylor Greene pointed out that staffing was down to 20 to 30% in local SSA offices. 20%. That's unacceptable. That's not leadership. That's a dereliction of duty. She said it loud and clear. She sent this man a letter in August of last year asking for a meeting. Not a tweet. Not a political stunt. A formal request to meet and discuss problems real Americans in her district were experiencing. And he didn't even have the decency to respond. You want to know why our country is slipping away? Because unelected bureaucrats like O'Malley treat our elected representatives, your voice, like they don't matter. Because they'd rather be sipping cocktails at union retreats than fixing the mess they're paid to manage. Let's talk about this love affair the left has with telework. I'm not against flexibility where it makes sense. But when government employees are sitting at home, collecting a check while Americans are crying out for help, we have a problem. O'Malley signed an agreement just before stepping down that locks in these work-from-home arrangements for 4 more years. Let me be blunt. This is Biden's America. Incompetence wrapped in good intentions, served with a side of union appeasement. Now here's where things got real. Greene asked the question no Democrat wants to hear. Do you serve God or the Democrat Party? Oh, the media's gonna spin it as unhinged or inappropriate, but I'll tell you this, it's about time someone called them out on it. The left wants to wear their faith like a badge, but their policies say otherwise. Greene called him out on abortion, late-term, government-funded, morally bankrupt abortion. And O'Malley's response? I trust women and doctors over government. Well, guess what? We trust God and the sanctity of life over the culture of death. Being pro-choice at 8 months pregnant isn't healthcare, it's murder. You know what's really going on here? This is what happens when government grows too large, too arrogant, and too unaccountable. Career bureaucrats answer to no one. They push policies that hurt working Americans, ignore our elected leaders, and then hide behind their political affiliations when the heat comes. Marjorie Taylor Greene, for all the flack she gets from the media, stood up and said what needed to be said. No fluff, no filter. Just truth. And that's exactly why the establishment fears her. My fellow patriots, we are at a crossroads in this country. Do we continue letting the swamp make excuses while our people suffer? Or do we rally around the voices who are actually fighting for us? Greene is one of the few willing to go to the mat, and she deserves our support. The Social Security system is not a political toy. It's not a jobs program for union cronies. It's a sacred promise made to every American who worked hard and paid in. And we cannot let unelected officials turn it into another failed government project. If you agree with me, if you're sick and tired of this bloated, broken bureaucracy, drop a comment below and tell me what you think. Share this video. Let's get the truth out there. And to Commissioner O'Malley, wherever you are, just know that real Americans are watching. And we're done being silent. Until next time, stay bold, stay free, and never stop fighting for this great nation. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.